Hello. So before we fully dive into today's episode, I want to pose a couple questions for you. I want you to hit up the comments here or depending on what platform you're listening to. If comments are not available on the platform that you are choosing, please go over to Facebook and comment there. Just leave me a comment somewhere, like on my wall or whatever you call it, which Tin Roof Podcast is the Facebook page. We'll get into some other things here in just a second. But most importantly, I got two questions for you. One, what do you do that makes you happy? Like a hobby. Like what is a hobby that makes you happy? Leave it in the comments along with what music makes you happy. What kind of music do you listen to whenever you're going through it, so to speak? That music that helps you process, that helps you kind of get through it when you're going through it. That being said, like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, review. The more 5-star reviews or 4-star reviews or whatever that we get, the more that this show will be put in front of people. So the more people we get involved, the more activity we get on that front, comments too, all that stuff is going to help build this. So please be interactive. I want y'all to be interactive. I want to be able to communicate with you guys. Commenting back and forth is so great because it's how we're going to be able to build things from here. So yeah, that being said, happy Monday to y'all. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. This was not the original episode for today. We were going to be discussing women in music, actually. I wanted to do... I was trying to decide how I was going to do it, and I had it broke down to 2 episodes. So we've got 2 episodes coming up next. One being women in country music and women in like metal. So we will be discussing that in the near future. Next 2 weeks, actually. Well, I say that, but I may have to take a week off just because of like my schedule being too full. But the next 2 episodes are going to be that. We may sprinkle in a little bit of news here and there, but that is the plan, is to discuss music. Discuss? I don't know why I said it so weirdly. Anywho, today I wanted to talk about why music is so helpful with being therapeutic and everything. The links to country music as far as like songs about depression and everything, as well as kind of similarity, like the same thing with metal, and then also discuss some of my favorites as far as songs that go that I kind of link to like a therapeutic feel to like help get through that depression, to help process songs that really hit here, and then also hobbies as well, because hobbies really help the mental health. Getting outside really helps the mental health, which is why I posted that short that you may have seen where I'm walking through the woods and I'm listening to my screamings. Getting out and walking like that is so good for the mental health. It's incredible, just being outdoors. Matter of fact, why don't we start off with that, like how beneficial it is. So I'm going to pull up the statistic for you guys. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday so far. Hopefully it's not going to be a horrible one. Nobody likes Mondays. But that's also why this podcast comes out on Mondays, is to kind of help us get through the day, right? And gives us some good opportunities to discuss topics like these, as well as music news, motorsports news, whatever we decide to discuss, really. So it reduces stress and anxiety, being outdoors does. Exposure to natural elements such as trees, water, sunlight can trigger the release of calming hormones like serotonin and dopamine. Think of how nice it is to like walk by a stream or through the woods. You may come across a stream while you walk through the woods. You may not. But more than likely, like especially here in the Missouri area, we've got a lot of watershed that goes towards the Mississippi. You're going to come across some sort of stream on most of our public lands and stuff. So that being said, there's plenty of opportunity to do that. Now, also, not everybody here may be hunters, but I am, and I know that some people that listen to my show are. So for you hunters, like getting out and something as simple as getting the decoys wet for you waterfowlers like myself, or sitting in a tree stand and seeing that sun come up, like the dopamine that you get from a sunrise while hunting is incredible. And you don't even have to be a hunter. Go out there with your camera and photograph birds during non-hunting times, because like ducks, no matter what time of year, dawn, they're gonna fly. They get up later sometimes, but you're going to see animal activity year-round wherever you are. Get out, walk in nature, you're gonna see it, and it's gonna feel so good. It's such a wonderful thing. And then spending time in green spaces reduces cortisol levels. It's a stress hormone. You're going to reduce that. And then if you pile music on top of that, like if you like listening to music while you walk like I do, or even a podcast about music. I found a couple of podcasts about music that I'm really like hooked on, that I love, because they're like interviews, but they're not just interviews. They're like a buddy talking to a buddy, because they're both musicians and that they've toured together and that they've known each other for a while. It's super cool. It's going to boost your mood, which obviously ties into what we just talked about with serotonin and dopamine. Outdoor activities such as walking, hiking, or gardening promote physical... There you go, gardening. Dude, gardening, cooking, like, come on, right? Like, food helps with mental health and everything, too. Like, think about... We have comfort food. Like, boo, hello. All these things are so rewarding. Like gardening, like, man, I pulled off like being able to grow some tomatoes. How cool is that? Or peppers. I'm just listing off some of my favorite foods. There's so much that you can do, and all of it is so rewarding and so fantastic. But these activities have mood boosting effects. Natural beauty and sunlight, like we just discussed, can reduce feelings of depression. These are things that I've experienced firsthand, and that's why I'm sharing them with you, because I know how well it helps. Improves focus and concentration. Being in nature provides a break from the distractions of modern life, allowing for better focus and concentration. Spending time outdoors can enhance cognitive function and reduce symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I can also attest to this, because whenever I first went hunting, it was so hard for me to like keep focus, and I loved it, like in a sense, because I got a lot of writing done while I was out in the woods. I was able to write a couple of books while I was out in the woods. But where I'm at now, whenever I get out there for hunting season and everything like that, I look at my map on my phone because I use OnX, but aside from that, I try not to touch my phone. I try to focus on the hunt. I try to focus on what's going on around me and enjoying the nature. Not that I didn't enjoy the nature at first, but I'm more focused and more attentive than what I used to be. It's growing. I'm maturing, I guess you could say. And it's wonderful, because you want to be out there adjusting decoys, paying attention to the wind, making sure that your like setup's good for like if you're deer hunting or whatever. Like as the sun comes up, you might be like, wait, especially if you're like a public land hunter like I am, it's very much like, okay, I'm in a good spot, the sunlight's coming up, I can see that I've got food around me or whatever, if you didn't scout the area very well beforehand. Obviously, if you're scouting and everything like that, which scouting is a wonderful way for us, and hunters will know this because you're doing this already. Scouting is a great way to get out there before hunting season to, one, know the area, two, get in some of these things that I'm talking about, getting in the sun, getting in the nature, getting in the trees, the streams, blah, 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 blah. It's so fantastic and it's so good for us. And we were we were designed to be outside. We were designed to have that that interaction with nature. It was meant for us, and I think it's so important that we keep that in mind. But we've talked enough about outside. Why don't we move on? Well, said I was going to move on, but it increases social connection. Outdoor activities such as picnics, camping, hiking, blah 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 blah, provide opportunities for social interaction. Think about this. This one's for the hunters as well. You can meet somebody. Hey, where you going? Like, what's like public land wise? Where you going? What spot you picking? Even on like a family plot, like you're going to talk to your family members. Which spot you're going to your spot? Okay. You're going to have that interaction. And you guys are going to be excited. And you're going to have fun. Like there's the whole thing in hunting culture about deer camp and how much fun deer camp is and blah 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 blah. That's not by accident. That is there for a reason. One, you guys have found a common ground that you like deer hunting. Two, more likely your family, but if you're not family, you're friends, so you're already like family. There's so much special stuff that like all of this is connected, like, and it's good for us. But you may not be a hunter. Maybe you hike. Maybe you mountain climb or something like that. You're gonna come across somebody in these public scenarios of doing these things where you're going to meet others that have the same likes as you. Also, future Justin here. Sorry, had to rob that little thing from Nick Nocturnal there for a second. Wanted to also mention that I have lost over 66.6 pounds.
Let him who hath understanding.
Physical activity of any kind is so good. It definitely improves mental health too. And after recording, I realized that I needed to work this in here. So, yeah, this little snippet will be stuck in there somewhere. Thank you. Bye. Here's another thing that, before we move on, I think I knew this, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm iffy on it. So, spending time in natural settings can stimulate creativity and imagination as it provides a fresh perspective and a sense of wonder. I've gotten some of my best writing done, like I just said. Out in the woods, outdoor activities can encourage exploration and discovery, which can boost cognitive function and mental health, which obviously we've already addressed. But that being said, what about music? What does music do for mental health? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Or maybe you didn't, and I'm just forcing you to hear me. Well, not forcing you, you're choosing to listen to this, which I'm super thankful for. But anyways, music can significantly impact mental health. It offers benefits like reduced stress, anxiety, and pain, while also improving mood, cognitive function, and overall well-being. It can be used to promote casual and clinically. It can be used both casually and clinically to promote mental health. Stress and anxiety reduction, mood enhancement, cognitive function, pain management, emotional expression, social connection, reduce stigma. There's even music therapy. Music therapy involves using music as a therapeutic tool to address various mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, and dementia. Therapists utilize different approaches, including receptive listening, composing, and improvising to help clients express emotions, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. Listen, if you are not musically inclined, much like myself, but you love music, you love the lyrics, you love everything about it, okay, guess what? This podcast is a great example. I love music so much. I'm a huge fan, but I have zero musical talent. The best I could probably do is be a frontman for a hardcore band, which probably never going to happen, but the idea of it's amazing. But I have zero musical talent. What I do have is an ability to write poetry, which music, like lyrics, is a form of poetry. So if you like poetry, or if you like music and not necessarily thinking that you like poetry, guess what? You like poetry. Anybody that likes music likes poetry. You just got to decide on what kind of poetry you want to write. Don't slap rules to it. Don't do whatever. If you decide, hey, I want to write a haiku, go ahead, write a haiku. But if you don't think haikus are for you, fine, write freeform. There's so many options out there as far as what you can do poetry wise. Composing is what I'm saying. You can write stuff that helps. David Allan Coe was actually one of the first musicians that I actually ever heard say, I write out my feelings. A lot of my feelings come through my songs. I do the same with my poetry. A lot of my feelings come out through my poetry. It's great. It is fantastic. I actually have an idea for a poem that I'm probably going to sit down and write later today after I get done cooking, hobby, filming, hobby, podcasting, hobby. These things help me so much that if I don't do them, it bothers me because they are a release. There are times where, well, guess what, busy schedule and I can't get to one or multiple, but if I get to a couple, I can reason with myself that it is okay, that I've gotten to these things. I've been able to do these things that help me with my mental health. And it's relaxing. It puts me at ease. The playlist, the 60-hour playlist that I'm wanting to do, I've already been like messing with it and adjusting it and stuff like that. The music has helped me get through my workday. It's the whole point, right? We've already addressed that with this playlist in particular. Right now, actually, while we're on the discussion of that, one of the books that I wanted to read is available, and actually, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to talk to a buddy about it. But this one I think was actually. Yeah. Again, reading, a huge thing that helps a lot. So this book in particular, I'm trying to read the about on it. Okay. It's called The Happiness Advantage. It's so funny that this came available during Mental Health Month and like just happened. It's called The Happiness Advantage. It's by Sean Aker. One of my friends referred it to me. I can't remember which one, so I'm going to message at least one of them whenever I get done with this podcast. Like, was it you? But and more than likely, it may have been referred to the one by the other friend, and then the one friend referred it to me. But it's 7 principles of positive psychology that fuel success and performance at work. So while it's work based, it's about mental health and having a positive psychology. And so, especially with a name like Happiness Advantage and everything, I think there is a certain level of contentment there that I think you could also like throw in with this whole like mental health aspect. And you have to be happy at work, if that makes sense. And that does tie into the mental health stuff. While we've been focusing on like, the hobbies and the music and everything else, like the music, like I just said, helps get through the day at work, right? Podcasts help you get through the day at work. Again, why I do this podcast is to have a connection with other people, to let out some of my creativity, to celebrate the musics that I enjoy, country and metal. It's such a wonderful thing. And it's also like a great way to establish other things as well. Like establishing a relationship with others is so great, and what a great tool that the internet is, that we can do this. So yeah, it's just funny that came available while we were discussing this. But mental health and metal music. So the relationship between metal music and mental health is complex and multifaceted. One, it's an emotional release. Metal music can provide a cathartic outlet for strong emotions such as anger, frustration, and aggression. Think about, okay, so we're going to use one of my favorite bands here, Hatebreed, right? Okay, so Hatebreed's music, I Will Be Heard. I think I actually read the lyrics whenever we were talking about this maybe last year. So if this is recycled information, I don't mean for it to be. Not this time. There is times where reiterating stuff is helpful. This time in particular, I'm not necessarily trying to. It's just kind of happening. So, which actually this kind of ties, like these like all of these tie in together. So I'm just going to read you these things, then we'll start discussing lyrics. So emotional release, sense of belonging, increased self-esteem, improved focus and concentration. So Hatebreed lyrics. We're gonna pull up some because they are like Hatebreed. You think by the name like, oh, they're so angry, blah 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 blah. They're not. And if they are angry, it's at things that should make you angry. Because they're very much about like motivation, about doing better for yourself, about mental health, about improvement. I'm losing words here, but let's see. We'll do I Will Be Heard, since I already brought that up. Now is the time for me to rise to my feet. Wipe your spit from my face. Wipe these tears from my eyes. Now is the time. Repeat it. And then it goes, I've got to take my life back. One chance to make it right. I've got to have my voice be heard and bring meaning to this life. We all want to be heard, right? And then think about the bullies and everything else that we all have had to deal with. Metalheads, fans of country music, whatever. Everybody's just so mean to each other all the time. Why? Can anybody explain it to me, please? But for like later on down in the second verse, let's see. I've been tried and tested, but I won't accept defeat. Now I've done things I regret, and it's time to reverse the roles. Now I just want to make good on all the promises I have made. I will be. Love it. I Will Be Heard is one of my favorite songs. I love Hatebreed. They're an amazing hardcore band, and like that's not the only one. Like Destroy Everything is another really popular one by them, which the chorus is destroy everything 3 times, obliterate what makes us weak, destroy everything 3 times, decimate what threatens me. And then if you look at the verse, cleanse this world with flame, in this, cleanse this, rebuild and start again, obliterate what makes us weak, in this and embrace the destruction, in this to embrace new life. Even a nothing threat deserves a response you won't soon forget. I must destroy everything that tries to infect. Even a nothing threat deserves a response you won't soon forget. I must destroy everything that tries to infect. Anything that is like negative, we're going to get rid of it. We're going to be positive. It's so good. I don't know. They start like the way that this particular lyric thing has things structured is weird. Okay. We could do in the ashes. In ashes they shall reap, but which actually I got to see in if I ever get a chance to have Jassa on here, because I'm rusty on interviews. I haven't had an interview in a while, so I want to get some interviews going again on here, because like that's the cool thing about like the structure that I have for this podcast is, yeah, we talk music news a lot and we talk about a lot of other news that's like current, but getting to dive into a subject like this, getting to dive in like women and music that we're going to be discussing the next couple of weeks, and then from there I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have things that I want to do, but I move them around for whatever reason. But we have like this podcast can take on so many different faces, and we can enjoy so many different things, and it just makes me happy. I hope it makes you happy. You keep coming back, so it must. Or maybe you're here for the first time. I hope it makes you happy right now that you will come back. But man, Supremacy was one of my favorite albums. Oh, sidetracked and totally forgot to tell you the story I wanted to tell you. I got to see Randy Bly right before getting arrested the first time in the Czech Republic. Like, whenever, like, they decided you got to fly back here and get persecuted. Or, not, well, he was persecuted. Prosecuted. You got to fly back here and go through all that. Which, ooh, I really need Speechify. Shameless plug for Speechify. Because I found that out this week. Randy was not allowed to do an audiobook deal for his first book, but he did one for Just Beyond the Light, his new book, which, without reading, I'm already intrigued about what it's going to be about, because it's about death and surfing. So I definitely want to look into it. But Darkest Days is the story of going through the whole, like, trial, from, like, flying over there, being arrested, being interrogated, the trial, all of it. And it wasn't even done, because I listened to the Mitch Luker Memorial Garza podcast episode, and, like, that was really good. But like, it was still going on during that memorial show, and that's crazy, because that was like 2 years later. But, like, they freed him, like, partway through 2010, but early 2010, like, about June, so almost a full 15 years ago, Mayhem Fest rolled through St. Louis. Hatebreed was the main event on one of the side stage. Like, they were the headliners on whatever side stage that was. It might have been Revolver might have been the sponsor of that one, because it was like two stages side by side, and somebody would play on this one, somebody would play on this one, and they'd go back and forth. The one to close it out, the headliner of that day, was Hatebreed, which I was super excited about, obviously. But they play the national anthem, they come out, they do their thing, and during their set, whenever it gets to in Ashes They Shall Reap, they have Randy from Lamb of God come on there, and one of the coolest things, because I'm a huge Lamb of God fan, as you know, and huge Hatebreed fan, as you know, and so, like, seeing those two dudes up there performing in Ashes They Shall Reap together was just the best. Definitely one of the hugest highlights from that festival. And I thought Mayhem was supposed to be coming back, and I guess maybe they changed their mind. Summer Slaughter is coming back, although it's not coming to St. Louis. I'm not upset about it at all, Jamie, I promise. I wish it was. But anyways, the Supremacy album was fantastic, because it had Defeat Us, it had Horrors of Self, which Horrors of Self is an absolutely amazing song. Mind Overall, To the Threshold, which that was the lyrics that I was really trying to look up. Here it is, right here. Boom. Okay. I didn't just accidentally hit play on something, did I? Okay, no. So, the lyrics are, "This is the sound of the lost, the beaten and broken, rising up and claiming what has been taken from us, from the shadows of the past, from the depths of our own failures, stepping forward into the light, denying our demise, decimating all uncertainty, bowing to only who can place judgment upon me." The chorus is, "Give me your broken, give me your beaten, I will build them up, I will lead them to the threshold." And then post-chorus, "Make you stronger, make you believe I am one and the same, but now stronger than uncertainty. Within this army, this is more than a battle cry, it's the blood of our lifeline flowing faster. This is the sound of the lost, beaten and broken, decimating all fears, stronger than ever, beyond every dream, ascension into supremacy. Now we're stronger than ever, harder than ever. Give me your broken, give me your beaten, I will build them up, I will lead them to the threshold. This is more than a battle cry. We're the broken, we're the beat. We were the broken, we were the beaten. I was once like you, now I push myself to the threshold. Because I am stronger, because I believe. Now I spit in the face of defeat. Now I am stronger than all uncertainty." Boom. Stuff like that. Like, that's what, like, makes metal / hardcore just so awesome, is stuff like that. Now, obviously, I love, like, the thematic stuff and, like, the stories and stuff like that. There's songs about grief in metal that are just so good. Rose of Sharon by Killswitch Engage. Even though it's, like, about finding out that a love in a dream state is not real. Pain Remains One is so good, by Lorna Shore. Like, there's things like that that are just so good out there that deal with grief, not just like I'm going to rise and be better, or something like that. Like, there's things that, like, we're dealing with pain, we're dealing with these real life emotions, and we can be better, we can take ourselves higher, we can be on Creed, we can be on this whole nother level. But we're gonna wrap it up with discussing some country real quick, and then we'll be done. Because who doesn't love a sad country song? Like, think about "Hurt" by Johnny Cash. Boom, amazing, right? Now, obviously, it used to be a Nine Inch Nails song, or is a Nine Inch Nails song, but a lot of people really equate that "Hurt" version, that Johnny Cash version. So country songs about mental health, because I had searched mental health and sad country songs, because kind of the same deal as like metal, like that processing vibe. I wanted some like facts and stats and stuff like what I tried to give you with metal. But like "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry," Concrete Angel, it's about abuse, and it's a beautiful song. It's a sad song, but it's about abuse, and yeah. But like, "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry," who hasn't felt like super alone and sad and depressed? Because if you're watching this podcast, listening to this podcast, whatever, more likely you felt it at one point or another, because you are a fan of metal. Because most of us who are a fan of metal, or maybe you're a fan of country music, those of us who are a fan of sad country songs, fan of metal music, whatever, we have had something in our life, and everybody has, but we lean into it more, I guess, is the easiest way to explain it. We lean into it more, and we found other people that we can relate to that have dealt with the same things, and like the screams, the heavy riffs, all that stuff we can relate to, the twang of a steel guitar that feels so sad and alone, all these things. And it's so good for us. He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones, Whiskey Lullaby by Brad Paisley and Alison Krauss, Chef's Kiss, like, just so good. I Drive Your Truck, like the loss of a brother who was serving in the military, really just pulls on the heartstrings. Anybody, which I guess if you're listening to this podcast, most of you would be old enough to remember this, even though it was like 25 years ago. But demographically, most of you that listen to this podcast or watch this podcast should fall in the demographic that knows what I'm talking about with this one, or like witnessed it, felt it, all the above. Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning by Alan Jackson. That song is so... I go back to 4th grade every time I hear that song. That's a trauma that like the nation felt. And I think about like all the crazy things that my generation, millennials, has gone through, and then I think about our grandparents, all the things that they went through. They saw Pearl Harbor, then they saw the World Trade Center, that lived through parts of the Depression. They went through all kinds of crazy stuff too, just like we did. And we're not special. We like to think we are, and we are in certain ways, but this Earth's going to keep spinning and keep doing crazy things, and that's why music's so important, right? To help us get through it, to help us cope. It's what hobbies are for. We've discussed a lot of things that help me get through it, and I hope that you comment and stuff below like we had discussed, because I want to know what helps you get through it. Maybe it's hiking, maybe it's hunting, maybe it's fishing, maybe it's just not so much of a hike, but maybe just a nice stroll in a park. Being outside is so good. Music is so good. A hobby is so good, because it gets us away and gets those happy feelings flowing. Think about, like, if you are like somebody that likes to cook like I do, when you crush a cook, when it's absolutely fantastic, and you have people that are like, this is good, that feeling is good. Or like even your own taste buds, like as soon as it hits your taste buds and you know you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, it's so good. As a writer, whenever I'm able to pull the emotions out of somebody that I'm trying to pull out of there, that's a success, and it feels so good. It's part of like me being a creative person or whatever, I know, but I understand that I am a person who likes to create, who likes to dabble or whatever in all these things. It's what makes me me. And I am so happy that you took this time to spend with me, as we've spent quite a bit for today's episode, and I'm very thankful that you chose to be here. But on that note, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you get about your day. Raleigh Karin did happen. It was good. Oitanok got robbed. Not by rules or anything like that, but by a stupid power steering pump. But go check out Dirtfish and stuff. Pay attention to my Substack, because I've got a Raleigh car article that's going to be coming out soon. I need to write another like Tin Roof Artist one that I've been slacking on. But I'm so busy with things that certain things just have to sit off to the side for a little bit. Anywho, happy Monday. Go dominate this week. Listen to some hardcore music that has positive energies about it. Listen to some metal to help process stuff. Listen to some great country music. And I'm going to try to finish that playlist, which, how many hours is that playlist? I was going to look that up earlier, wasn't I? We're getting there. We're not close, but as of right now, before I hit stop on this, we are at 17 hours and 40 minutes with 287 songs. So close yet so far away. We'll get there. But yeah, that's what we got so far. Happy Monday. Bye.